Hi, I'm Daniel, and this is the next part of my best animated short Oscar win ranking. If you want the opening disclaimers and discussion of this 92-year-old category as well as the bottom 30, watch the first video. However, you could also just pretend to see the top 62 years, ignoring the past where due to a previous ranking. From here, it's okay to quite good short to discuss. Enough intro, now time for the yes. 62, Speedy Gonzales. Here is a Looney Tunes debut for a character not as major as with some of the other ones in the franchise. This story is a typical character strip of a character over multiple attempts. It has some good Looney Tunes comedic hijinks and features Sylvester as the antagonist. He appears in 3 out of the 5 Looney Tunes Oscar wins. That shows how he's iconic. I wasn't too big of a fan of it, but I see its appeal. 61, Jerry's Game. It took till now, but I finally got to a Pixar short. I know this one has its fans, but I always thought it was one of the weaker shorts. Having an old man play chess against himself is a fun idea, and some parts like the trick to flip the board over and the facial expressions are funny. I like the character of Jerry and the fact he got to be in Toy Story 2. However, this severe yak some sort of twist for how it's formatted. Keeping the reveal with being one person till the end would have been more funny, or even better reveal it was like 2 people the whole time. This yak's the ending impact which Pixar is often good at. This was still pretty good. There's also some clever cinematography, that's pretty much it. 60, Mr. Magoo's Puddle Jumper. This old cartoon is debated just wandering over and over again, where a blind man will enter a wacky hijink because of his lack of sight. This has been criticised beyond modern, and I kind of see why, but I also can't help but be charmed by him and the general comedy of these shorts. He won 2 Oscars, and this is the weaker one, for being yes funny and having a yes interesting setting. Still, I like this, especially for how it showcased Mr. Magoo. Time to start with is actually a genius theory because he drove backwards and can also drive and breathe underwater. I think Mr. Magoo has in his persona to save the world from the omnipotent god he could have been. Obey him now and he may pardon you in the future. 59, Yogorama. This short breaks my type perception of quality and I can't tell what to think of it, so I put it at the top of my 6 out of 10s. Around there is the best place to be safe. There's a probably hiding it deserves, but something so interesting and weird deserves to do something. It we want the younger one to talk about, as this takes place in a world where yogos and brands are everywhere, in buildings and people. I think this may be commenting on product placement taken over in the postmodern age, but trying to find out what this is saying is using battle. This is mainly just an experience to steal these yogos together and picking up all of them in this world. The animation is fitting a way of making 2D design CG with all these colours and overwhelming feel. This has invented cinematography and really makes strong use of parody defense for using all these brands. Some parts like the still are funny to do this, and the world destroyed followed by I just want to set the world on fire is a great ending as it zooms out to more yogos. However, Ayarth's fighting is pretty bad and expected for adult animation trying to be edgy, with constant unfunny jokes. The story and character aren't interesting with this buddy cop plot. So much casting decision is basic, like Ronald McDonald as an insane criminal isn't shocking like this wants it to be. I feel like if anyone mascot being this would have been funnier. Same with making the Pringles catcalling men. This was a short in 2009, not the mid 20th century where stuff like this was common. The attempt to follow Yakuza's story is putting this down when the main appeal is the general feel and just witnessing the world where it's mesmerizing. Yet me remind this won an Oscar. It's the weirdest film on this list and maybe contender for weirdest Oscar nomination ever. I've not seen or checked enough to know, but what could top this? For that reason, I see why this is won, even if Parky Cloud is my favourite Pixar show and wasn't even nominated that year. No matter if it's mixed quality, this is a real watch I think everyone above a certain age should see. There's a reason I put it at the top of my playlist as the highest recommendation. 58, Feast. I have found this overrated every time I try to watch it as the inferior short that paid before Big Hero 6. I like the animation style and how it looks in motion, which is really bright and aesthetically appealing. I like some parts transition through a dog's life, but eventually gets a bit boring as the dog begins just wandering about. Every time I watch this short, this is about the time where I start zoning out. This is just the worst version of what Pixar short often do and make me emotionally disconnected to it. This is decent, but I never got into it, but maybe because I'm not a pet person. 57, The Tortoise and the Hare. You've likely heard this story before, where Theo and Stay wins the race, but only if your opponent gives up halfway through. This classic Silly Symphony isn't the best, but has some fun assigned to visually tell this story. This also adds in the Hare flirting with schoolgirls. While his age is unknown, just looking at them should automatically put him on set for yes. Release the apology video Hare. 56. The Yankee Doodle Mouse. This starts out a basic Tom and Jerry back and forth, which I'm not the biggest fan repeatedly, but it starts picking up in quality as it essays them using larger weapons on each other. This was a World War II shot that doesn't say much as just using intense weapons for cat and mouse fighting, but it scored their first Oscar. This has fun slapstick, but I prefer when it's more than this formula duo and house location. 55. Crack. I don't know why it's the title when it's short about a chair across different owners. It's not clear it's about that first, with the chairs not being a focus across many scenes. This has a good pace and timeline, but it's making a note for the beautiful animation. This is so pleasing to look at, especially with the white background on colours and in dance sequences. This apparently inspired Takta, Ghibli director. This is worth it for year into the Tail Princess category as the studio's best looking film. Overall, Crack is good and I see why others would like it, but I personally see no reason to experience Crack again, okay? 54. The Fly. This is 3 minutes from the perspective of a fly flying around the room. This has a really cool perspective shot and camera movements to look at. What you expect is what you get, and the fly noises throughout make this tiring to listen to, especially when I instinctively get worried where it's coming from. 53. Flowers and Trees. This is a Disney shot that was the first ever to win this category. I like seeing the combination of nature and music, and the tree playing a harp goes so hard. It just feels in the romance being typical, and I swear I've seen these same 3 archetypes so many times. A good start, but not great either. 52. Mr. Hubplot. This may be another one I don't like as much because I'm not a pet person, but a young man being helped by a robot pet just does the expected. The CG animation is slightly limited, but I think it excels in the technology of old-fashioned world design. I also think it handles his OCD well, but didn't feel that enough for it to be higher. 51. The Ugly Duckling. This Disney Silly Symphony tells the story of the Ugly Duckling that probably makes one of the studio's first no-live version coded characters. This is just a nice yellow animation of this duck whose family abandons him, but he finds his own beauty that fits the music-driven structure well. I like how this removes the physical ugly part and makes a found family story, which makes a good if safe short. 50. Tweety Pie. Entering the top 50 with a Looney Tunes introduction of this bird and its dynamic with Sylvester. Oh sorry Thomas. It's weird seeing this name and the start of this setup, but I think this still has a funny series of hijinks when trying to get the bird without his only noticing. It's a standard Tom and Jerry knockoff that was popular at the time, so it got the franchise the first Oscar. 49. The Hole. This is directed by John Hubye, the same as Muber I went over in the previous part. They have a similar style of random talking, but I find construction work talking about potential nuclear war more funny and entertaining than children mumbling. This is charming in areas, but didn't justify being 15 minutes long. 48. Bunny. This is about an old rabbit fighting a moth while living alone, or at least that this short seems to be. This is held back by all the animation with these modern movements. Also, this is the only one where I've noticed bad shot composition, going from shots too fast and abruptly. This is poorly put together, but I really like this bunny fighting the moth, and its ending was very effective. This show was also produced by Busey Studios, so good for them starting with something of quality. Rest in peace Busey Studios, I like about 5 of your films. 47. Ferdinand the Ball. I did not intend to put things together, but Busey made a film adaptation of the same book as this Disney short. Which is better? It's hard to tell with the movie expanding the character and themes in interesting ways, but also adds a lot of stupid comedy as well, but I do think it is an underrated film. Anyway, this original short is good at showing the queer coded story of a ball not wanting to fight. The finale scene in the ring is great. This comes off a bit one note and lacking much to say about masculinity as promised. I'll give it some slack for it being in the 1930s, but still isn't getting any higher because of this. It just about ends up in the lower half. 46. The Fantastic Flying Books from Mr. Morris Yes More. The upper half is starting what feels like and is promoting educational about reading. It is good at showing all the communication change as the man covers the magic library of dancing books, which I will admit made me think of Gab Gab, despite that coming meme 7 years ago now. There's some very good themes here about stories being passed on to the next generation, but it's told in a way that's too Fantasia-esque and didn't stick with me much. 45. The Two Mouseketeers. This takes Tom and Jerry to an old setting with this castle and outfit. I like seeing this difference in design, but doesn't really change with the fighting aside from using swords, which they could do already. But on another hand, them fighting like knights with swords is entertaining. I still don't like Nibbles being there, but good cartoon. Also, there was a controversy regarding a joke about Tom being beheaded off screen that was cut from some versions. It's slightly dark, but not too out of place in Tom and Jerry. 44. Charade. This is a shorter and role-playing charades, where one guy never gets guessed right, but the other guy gets the correct guess immediately. This is one note, but it's funny all the things that people watching try to guess. And the basic concept of not getting the obvious was amusing. It's also good at animating all the actions, giving more personality. A solid watch. 43. Manipulation. At this point, the cover art is annoying and mess with the cartoon character has been on a yacht, made the Looney Tunes short duck amok. Even so, I still had fun with this and find it hard to mess up on yet your Animaniacs reboot. I still haven't gone over being master psyched for saying that show was over in 2021, but now no one remembers it. Anyway, I think the way this guy's throwing across the page makes it fun and a good short. 42. When Magoo Few. This is similar to the other short, but I find it even more funny and charming. I like his comments on Vicky's in the cinema when he's on the plane, and the way he accidentally catches a criminal. Or did he? Mr. Magoo actually walks outside the plane like it's nothing. Gravity only exists if he says it does. He is superpowered, and if he won a third Oscar, he couldn't be stopped. Mr. Magoo is the Uncle Grandpa of the 20th century. If those two fought, it would be a never-ending stalemate. 41. Johann Mouse. This had a boring first half, just being the worst replay of another short of Tom playing the piano while fighting with Jerry. However, I like how this plot goes further to a larger scale that was very enjoyable second half. The narrator starts off young pointless, but I like how it sets itself apart from Tom and Jerry's typical, and it feels somewhat nicer as the Yassos they won. On another note, it's very well balanced that Tom and Jerry in this list had 2 in part 1, 3 in part 2, and we'll have 2 in part 3. See what those are next video. 40. A Close Shave. It's Wallace and Gromit, a franchise I'm a bit mixed on. I don't care about Grand Layouts and Marvel and Death, but they didn't win, so we need to talk about them. This one is good, but its charismatic escalation isn't as good as it was in Wrong Trousers. This plot of a dog trying to make water sheep is decent, and that bike scene at the end is great. However, this just speeds through Gromit getting framed and wastes time in this window cleaning business and romance. I don't know the extent of this an unpopular opinion, but I don't like Wallace much in the specials. He's good in the movie, but I don't care if there's a BBS stick over the animal characters. Gromit's intelligence is always fun, and this introduces the icon Shaun the Sheep. Even in a yes anthropomorphic form, he's fun and gets a great victory at the end. This has some highlights, but doesn't really challenge me thinking Armin is overrated. But lucky for them, all 3 of the Oscar wins are for a very good short. 39. Yesha. This like great like a history video, but not only is it shorter, but also on a more interesting topic. This looks at the concept and it's tied with the history regarding Yesha existing and coinciding with work. I like how this has a range of styles, though nothing too grand, and making quick edits. Also, the narrator is a satisfying voice to listen to. This may get boring at times and I wouldn't watch out of choice, but it's good. 38. Peter and the Wolf. This is a rougher stop-motion style, and while some of the humans and their eyes look off-putting, that kinda adds to the feel. The textures, animals, and especially showcasing the winter locations look great. It occasionally looks like something's edited on, but most of the animation looks very strong. I didn't know how to feel about the first half, with generic overprotecting grandfather story, and the Bambi ever fail of animals messing around. Its 30-minute length was felt as used in the first half, and the choice to have no dialogue felt more like a gimmick with scenes that really needed some speaking. However, that was before the wolf appeared and then this became great. The way this animal is shown as brutal and intimidating, while keeping some of the wisest face wolves often depicted as. This threat is felt, and this young scene was so gripping to watch. I also read the ending, and think it's an interesting play on patient with the title make you expect some kind of friendship. I like this overall for that scene and charming music, but it's a weird in between age range with elements for kids but also being a lot darker. 37. Dear Basketball. I'm not interested in anything sports related aside from Space Jam, and I only have surface level knowledge on who Kobe Bryant is. With that said, this is a very touching and emotional speech about his story and love for the sport. Its music paired with its sketch animation really works well. It's slightly preachy and a type of thing schools will show to try and be uplifting, but I still think it's strong and doubles their memorial only a couple years after it won an Oscar. 36. Bow. Though Mishi's Pixar directorial debut before turning red is good, I can't quite call it one of Pixar's best shorts, but it's grown me with time and knowing what it's about. I still remember thinking the human was a child by the art style. Anyway, a great and personal feeling short about parenting and yearning to see your child as their own person. This is great at starting with a dubbing metaphor and eventually dropping down a beautiful scene. It also has good music, but the montage does go on sightseeing. There's also one moment primarily for the action, but I remember working in my Incredibles 2 cinema 6 years ago. How was that 6 years ago already? 35, The Old Mill. One of the best Silly Symphonies plays an atmosphere over trying to be cute and silly. I like exploring the weather tower and all the animals living there. There's nothing quite like watching harmonizing frogs croaking together. Great short. 34, It's Tough to Be a Bird. I grew up with Pixar's Your Friend the Rat, watching it on repeat, so I'll always be biased in favour of something similar just with birds instead. This host is entertaining, and I like these comedic bits of history and facts involving birds and how humans see them. This being 20 minutes gives it time to breathe and be very fun to me. Granted, it's not as funny or quick as Your Friend the Rat, and the bit where when live action lost me slightly, although it didn't stop this from being good fun. 33, 99 Bugs. This is Bugs Bunny's only Oscar. It feels more like a legacy award rather than this picky short. There's far better from him, but this is still good. I like taking these characters in a fantasy setting with castles and dragons. I like Bugs starting off as a jester, but still having the cartoon's superpowers to mess with Yosemite Sam. It's a funny use of a character trying to get something repeatedly through wacky hijinks, even if it's not the most inventive. 32, Monroe. I like social commentary disguised as just a simple story with a simple joke. A 4-year-old boy is drafted in the army, and no one listens to him trying to tell them that. I enjoy how simple its art-style narration is to get the point across, and just showing what he does in the army. Using this exaggeration is great conveying this and showing how young people are being drafted in the army. This being a couple of years before US involvement in the Vietnam War adds to this point greatly. 31, The Sandcastle. This is a very satisfying stop-motion short about a creature coming alive from sand and slowly creating others and building a short-lived community. This lends itself to Ozymandias references easily, but it's different in how positive it feels. Nothing lasts forever, but it can be enjoyed and appreciated when here. Using this simple story to explore this concept is great and a good feeling short that I feel sad missed out on part 3. So that's it for part 2 of this series. I decided last minute to move 31 part of this video because part 3 looks young. I might need a couple extra days wait to release part 3 to finish off this big ranking. I hope you're enjoying this list soon as we move on to the best of the best with strong recommendations. For the time being, consider press subscribe and watch my other videos. The end.